Oh yeah, you already know what time it is. You already know what's going on. I'm your host Cam Silver,
I'm your co-host Kyle Silver.
and welcome back to another episode of the Silver Boys Podcast.
Hey,
Oh yeah, we are here. The weekend is here. The big game is coming up on Sunday. So, and the NBA trade deadline just passed, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about, my brother.
yes we do. Yes we do. We got fireworks all up in this podcast this week, brother. Yes sir.
But
Sir.
before we get into it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe for all my YouTubers out there. The Silver Boys Podcast. You already know what time it is. But this weekend, the big game, the Patriots will face off against the Seahawks out in
Mhm.
Santa Clara. Whew, how we feeling?
Patriots, all right, so the New England Patriots versus the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be honest, I'm a little iffy about this game. I'm not I it's either going to be high scoring or it's just going to be like, a a relatively mid battle
Yeah.
because I don't really see New England putting up that many points, to be quite honest. But I can see, Seattle, the Seahawks putting up 40. Because
Yeah.
they have a high-powered offense. They got the number one receiver. So I'm interested to see how that Patriots defense will handle, that offensive juggernaut that is, the Seahawks, as well as I'm interested to see how Drake May comes off of his injury, and how he looks against that Seattle defense, because, they can get to the quarterback. They got guys that can cover. So I'm really interested to see how if they can make him uncomfortable and stop that running game that they have as well too. The
Yeah.
Patriots.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here. Very interested. I want to see how Drake May's gonna maneuver.
Hmm.
More so of just the fact that because he is a running quarterback, but also he has had his turnovers in these past few games, especially like since the start of the playoffs, especially in the first two games. Looking forward to what their run game is gonna look like with Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson back there. If they can get the run game going, and then hopefully it could translate into the passing game, then after that, I think we're gonna find ourselves in a shootout basically.
Hmm.
And that's how I feel. On the defensive end, obviously for both teams, stellar. They've been playing magnificent this whole basically the whole postseason.
Hmm.
It's kind of funny because New England during the season was not that great on defense, but they somehow some way turned it up and they did what playoff teams are supposed to do. They reached another level when they got
Hmm.
over when they got into the postseason. For the Seattle offense, just make sure that the run game is good. You know, you have
Hmm.
Kenneth Walker back there, who's going to be your main horse, but whoever else is back there with him, make sure that they can produce somewhat. And that takes a lot of the pressure off of Sam Darnold and lets Jackson Smith and Jigma and the rest of those boys do what they're able to do. Another thing is special teams. Special
Hmm.
teams hasn't been huge for Seattle, especially since they got Shaheed. So that's another thing that I'm looking forward to as well.
Okay. Okay. Um, these aren't the two teams that I really thought that would be in here. Um, Not what I was expecting whatsoever, but I gotta give shout outs to both teams. Mike Vrabel actually just won AP Coach of the Year.
As you
Shout out to
should.
him as well too,
Hmm.
because he really did bring that team out the darkness for real.
You want to know what's
Him
crazy?
and Drake May.
You want to know what's crazy? He was my pick to be coach of the year too. He was
Okay.
one of my picks. I had made like a little ticket on FanDuel. He was one of my picks
Mm-hmm.
for coach of the year. I think I had Genty for like rookie of the year. I think it ended up going to Toro McMillan, and I had another one. I forgot what the other one is. But shout outs to him. Shout outs to Miles Powell for defensive player of the year. Shout outs
Hmm.
to Christian McCaffrey for making a comeback player of the year.
Well
Um,
deserved.
yes, yes. After having the injuries last year and then being able to be the workhorse that he is this year.
Hmm.
So yeah, congratulations to everybody. Oh, congratulations to the Hall of Fame class as well, which includes a bunch of my childhood, which makes me feel a little old. Um, so featuring Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Adam Vinatieri, Roger Craig, and Luke Kuechly. So everybody on there was difference makers at some point in their careers. You know, Larry Fitzgerald, one of the best wide receivers we ever seen. Drew Brees is in our
Up
generation,
there,
not
bro.
only just our generation, but overall, in my opinion, he's one of the best quarterbacks that we had ever seen. Adam Vinatieri, he was accurate. You know, you
Hmm.
needed a kicker, he was the guy. Luke Kuechly, I don't know if you ever
The,
seen. Yes, I don't
a
know if you've ever.
defensive stopper. What are you talking
I
about,
don't know if
bro?
you've ever seen like the videos they would be going through on like Twitter and like Instagram and stuff like that, but you'll see videos of him literally calling out the plays of the offense before they even get lined up. So
Hmm.
he's just one of those guys where he just understood. And then Roger Craig, I remember my dad showing me Roger Craig highlights where his knees were basically up to his chest, so it was like hard to tackle him, and he was a running back.
Mm.
But everybody on that list is well deserving of of making it to the Hall of Fame. So congratulations to all of them.
Yeah, most definitely. Hey, it's about time some of those guys got their gold jacket, you know.
Indeed.
I'm
And
happy for Larry Fitzgerald though. I can't lie because
yeah,
that's even for me that's somebody that's like I grew up like adoring Larry Fitzgerald. Just the type of guy that he was, the player that he was. He was really one of my favorites. He really was. So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
happy for him.
Same here, same here. He was I'll never forget watching the Steelers Cardinals super big game. That one was
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
he was piecing us up, man. Piecing us up. But
But
anyway, like
okay, are we gonna do our picks?
oh yes, 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 we have to do our picks. Big game. Who do you like?
Give me Seattle, Sam Darnold, MVP.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
take I'm taking Seattle as well. I'll take JSN for MVP.
Okay, okay,
I'll take
okay.
JSN for MVP. Yeah. My biggest worry is that I don't know if the Patriots offense if they're gonna be able to keep up. That's the only thing. That's my only worry. If they're gonna
I
be able to
don't know.
keep up.
I'm not really that scared of them like as a downfield threat either, like I am with with Seattle.
Okay.
Like the
Oh,
way that Seattle can attack, that secondary, any secondary, realistically. Um, I don't know. I don't have that same faith and I don't have that same confidence. Stephon Diggs is gonna have to step up really big.
yeah,
I think he's
Stephon
gonna have
Diggs,
to have a real big game.
Demario Douglas, Mac
Yeah.
Hollins, all those wide receivers are gonna have to step up. The tight ends as well.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's gonna
But you're
be
right. It is really gonna be up to Drake May's his legs though too because if he has like what if he has like 80 yards carrying on the ground like you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
That
And I think
creates a different
like
that
the
creates a
last,
different game.
yeah, I think like the last two games he's had at least 60 yards on the ground. Last two or three games, especially in the postseason. So
Hmm.
yeah, no, that might be one of the heavy factors into this. So
Yeah.
and shout out to JSN once again. He won Offensive Player of the Year.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well deserved. Well
Yeah,
deserved.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, cannot wait for the big game Sunday, 6:30. Be there.
Whoop whoop. Whoop whoop.
Uh now with us getting prepared for the big game, the NBA also said, well, right after the big game, you guys are gonna have to turn your attention to something, and we know just the way to do it.
Don't they do this every year? We they do this every year.
Let's have the NBA trade deadline the same week so that you guys have something to look forward to afterwards, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Right, so it was a good amount of trades. I'm going to try my best to at least highlight the bigger ones, and then we'll go from there. So,
Okay.
Grizzlies trade Jaren Jackson Jr., John Kachar, Jock Landale, and Vince Williams Jr. to the Jazz for Walton Clayton Jr., Kyle Anderson, Taylor Hendricks, Georges Niang, and three first-round picks. Memphis has 13 first-round picks for the next 7 years. That is tied with the Nets and Oklahoma City. And by the way, Jock Landale, I think, got waived or also got traded through to Atlanta within this
Mm.
trade.
Yeah, I mean, this was one I really didn't see coming. Um, I really thought that they were gonna move on from Ja before I thought that they would move on from Triple J.
Hmm
But Triple J just had he was just more of an asset than Ja was because the reports are coming out that nobody really wants to acquire Ja, and I can't really blame anybody for that because he's only played 79 games since the 2023 season
Mm,
is which due to injuries, due to off the court troubles and whatnot, suspensions. You haven't even played a full season in 2 years, 3 years.
yeah,
That can't happen. That can't happen, and that's I think the second half of this after the All-Star break, second half of the season is going to be big for him just because he's going to have to provide and prove something, to Memphis or even any other team as well too because if he doesn't, he's not going to last that long in this league. But
yeah, yeah,
going back to Triple J, I'm interested to see how he'll gel with Walker Kessler when Walker comes back from his injury. Um, because they definitely did bolster, that front court, I should say, right? The
yep,
front court is the big guys, yeah. Um, they definitely did bolster that front court. So, Keontae George, he's gonna have to step up, I think, just as a point guard, making sure everybody's finding their spots, making sure he's just finding everybody, I should say, making sure and the guys got to hit their shots as well. Because if he's not hitting their shots and he's not facilitating, then I can see that offense of Utah becoming stagnant. But they got some hitters, but it's about how they share that ball, I think, is going to be really important.
yeah. I'm not really worried about them sharing the ball because the Jazz are really good at sharing the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Two really good floor spacers and like you said, George and Isaiah Collier coming off the
Yes.
bench. So I think that they're going to be great. Lloyd Marketing is another one that's going
Mm-hmm.
to benefit very, very well. So a lot of the attention, you can't just put it on Lloyd Marketing. Now it's going to be a pick your poison every night with these guys. So
Because
uh,
both of them can step out to the 3 point, they can both run like those they can do a lot.
yeah, yeah, and then now the paint is virtually locked down because of Walker Kessler, because of Triple J, and because of Lauren Marketing. All three of
Hmm.
those guys are really pretty good defensive players.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be the Jazz. They made themselves a nice move right here. Nice
They
move.
gonna have something to say in a couple years, depending on how things turn out for them. But I think that they could be in the running, a playoff running in the next couple years, I believe.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Another one. Bulls trade Nikola Vucevic and a second round pick to the Celtics for Anthony Simons and a second round pick. The talk has always been that the Celtics needed a big man, and they got a pretty good big man who could not only step out to the three, but he can get busy in the paint too.
To get busy in the paint, and he can he can find open guys as well too, which is
Yeah.
going to be really important because you know how that Celtics team is. They'll put up 83s on you at night, you
Hmm.
know. So yeah, they needed a big man. They needed a solid big man. Somebody to bolster that. Defend that paint, I should say. And I think that they got that most definitely.
Yeah.
Um, so Celtics definitely got something to say as well.
Yeah, no, I think they're capitalizing on where they are in the East right now, which is their top three. So they're definitely, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that they're top three.
They are, yes, they are.
Yeah,
They're literally tied with the Knicks right now.
yeah, yeah. So that's huge.
Very, very.
And then depending on how Jason Tatum takes it, if he wants to come back, he could. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't want to come back this year, especially,
Hmm.
just the fact that you don't only something that I've talked about multiple times. You don't only have to get over it physically, but mentally trying to get yourself back into rhythm, which is gonna take a while. So, but
Hmm.
I think they put themselves in position for the next couple of years to really dominate. Um,
Yeah.
this was another shocking one. Clippers trade James Harden to the Cavs for Darius Garland and a second round pick. Where did that come from?
I like where in the world?
And then at first you're hearing reports saying that, yeah, James Harden and his team are, working with the Clippers and this, that, and the third. Next thing you know, I hear from ESPN NBA reporter Ramona Shelburne
Hmm.
that James Harden didn't even ask for this. Like, so Yeah, like what in the world happened? And then plus this has been the hottest team since Christmas. So
Man, I can't even. I had no words for this. Like this was out of left field.
yeah,
Um, yeah,
this was
because
one.
I'm really interested more as to why Cleveland thought that they needed to move on from Darius.
Let me ask you something. Where have they been? Where have they been since they've had Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland in the backcourt? Where have they been?
Second round?
They don't
I don't
gel.
know. Wasn't enough.
They don't gel that well together as people think that they
Hmm.
do. If we're being
Nah.
honest, like you know what I mean. Like one has to have like a 30-point game, and then the other one has to have almost 20.
So, but then now, how I need to know how is Donovan and James Harden gonna gel together?
Yeah, that's another one.
Because I don't even just thinking about it, like on paper, it's to me it doesn't even seem like that flows very well, to be quite honest with you.
Right,
But James is known for assisting that ball. Like he's able to find these guys, find guys, open. So maybe, it takes a lot of pressure off of Donovan Mitchell. I will say that to not have to go out there and have to, be Superman in order to get a win.
right.
And I think James Harden will have some fun with Evan Mobley though as well,
Both,
and
both,
Jared
and
McCain.
Jared. Yep, yep. I say that
He'll
was
have some fun. He'll have some fun lobbing it up to him.
that's probably the big benefit. They're the two guys that benefit from this the most, in my opinion. Because
Hmm.
if there's one thing, James is gonna make sure he get his big man involved.
Hmm. Like that pick and roll is going to be vicious, especially with Evan Mobley because Evan Mobley says some hard screens.
Yes,
He says some hard screens,
and he's very agile, long, and athletic. So
and they're only they're 2 games behind Boston and the Knicks. So they can make a run
yeah,
depending on, and it also depends on how bought in James is though too,
yeah, that too.
which is Whew, they get to the first round, brother. He might poop in the stall, dog. Yo. Oh my God. We all about to be witnesses for real.
Yeah, I'm also hearing rumors that the plan would be for James and Donovan Mitchell to try to recruit LeBron back home for at least one more season. So you never know. You never know, Shawty. You never know.
Wow.
Um, Mavericks trade Anthony Davis, Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, and Dante Exum to the Washington Wizards for Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Malachi Branham, Marvin Bagley the third, two first-round picks and second-round picks as well. Dallas receives a 2026 Thunder first-round pick and a 2030 protected Wizards first-round pick from the Wizards, along with second rounders in 2026, 2027, and 2029.
Mm. This was another one that actually I'm not surprised at it. I'm actually kind of relatively happy for Dallas because like it's Anthony Davis at this point.
Yeah, they needed
I
to
don't it's
one, they needed to get off of that. Two, they needed to fully just submerge the fact that they are in the Cooper Flag era
hmm
and basically the whole Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic thing failed because of, you know who, Nico Harrison. So
yeah.
yeah, that whole thing basically failed because of him. But yeah, no, like you said, if I'm being honest with you, it doesn't move me much because of the fact that we don't see a lot of Anthony Davis.
Exactly. So it's like honestly, I don't feel like Dallas got any stronger really either.
I don't feel like both, in my opinion, I don't feel like both teams really got any stronger.
Really? Really? Well, yeah, come on. They sent Anthony Davis to basketball purgatory, dog.
Bruh, bruh.
Purgatory.
Like, like, how am I supposed to evaluate this when I barely see the dude? Like, when he's there and he's healthy, he's top five, plain and simple. But the problem
But he
is,
has to be there and have be healthy.
exactly, that's the thing. He's not there. And as much
And
as I love
he never
AD,
will be.
and as much as I love AD, and I love AD to death, you know what I mean? He helped my Lakers win the championship. But my boy, it be like the littlest stuff. My man's came down. I don't know if he was trying to get a rebound or if he was trying to get by his man or whatever, and he messed up his thumb. my dude.
Made of glass, and I don't say that lightly. I'm sorry, Anthony Davis, but you're made of glass, brother. And I tell him this to his face as well. But I'm interested to see where what Washington does with this.
Hmm.
Will is Anthony Davis going to stay there? Is he going to leave after this season? Like how where does he go from here? I think is going to be really important as well.
Yeah.
Will he stay with Trey Young? But they're both getting old. Like
Yeah, yeah. Well, Trey is a little
not
younger,
Trey, but
but yeah, AD's is in his 30s now. Well, he did sign not too long ago, so I know his contract is still, he still
okay,
has
okay,
some
okay.
time on his contract. So yeah, like I said, if AD's there and he's healthy, then going ahead Washington. But till then, I don't really got much to say for it. I'm happy for Dallas. Dallas gets young players. They also get picks. So that's good for them. Like I said, they can submerge themselves into the Cooper Flag era. They could either flip those picks or whatever and try to get a superstar, or they could just keep building because this draft coming in this year is actually going to be really strong depending on where they land. So keep tanking. Let Cooper Flag keep going crazy, but also keep tanking at the same time, y'all, so that y'all can get one of those good picks, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah, absolutely. We are in the Cooper Flag era, like you just said. So I'm interested to see where Dallas goes from now on, from
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Um, the Warriors made a couple of trades. I'll start off with the smaller one. Warriors Trace Jackson Davis to the Raptors for a 2026 second round pick via the Lakers. And the bigger one, the Warriors trade Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hield to the Hawks for Kristaps Porzingis. It's
What
gonna
a big
be.
pickup for the Warriors. What a
Mhm.
big pickup
It's
if
gonna
Kristaps can stay healthy.
Yes, yes, he's another one. Another if he can stay healthy, we all know what he could do. He's a knockdown shooter. He can get into the paint. He can, like when he's healthy, he gets up and down as a rum runner too. Can defend the paint very well. Can help out Draymond Green defend the paint very well.
Yes.
So now they could take a lot of that load can come off of Draymond, and Draymond can now play the natural four position, which will be good for him, and it'll also be good for Steph as well.
Exactly. Yeah, I back everything that you just said. They finally got some size. I feel like it's been a couple years since Golden State had some real size to them. Especially starting because we the last 2 years I feel like we were just saying as soon as they get into the playoffs they look small.
Yes.
They weren't stacking up well against teams. So the fact that they can play five out now with Kristaps, or get him inside pick and roll whatever it may be. I'm sure Steve Kerr and Steph and Draymond will put him in the best position to succeed. But it's contingent upon his health, and I have to keep saying that, like because when Kristaps is there, Kristaps is
He's a
he
game
will
changer.
change your franchise.
Yes,
you
yes.
know
We seen that in Boston.
exactly. So look at uh, him in Golden State is wild. It really is to me because. uh, I'm scared.
Yeah, it's gonna be that's gonna be something to
Especially with
see.
no Jimmy as well too. Like that, like so for them to go get Chris Kristaps with no Jimmy because Jimmy's hurt.
Yeah,
So I think that's it's a big pickup. It's a good pickup.
yeah, yeah. Once Kristaps went over there, the Warriors basically took themselves out of the Giannis sweepstakes. So
Hmm.
another big Clippers trade Ivic Zubac and Kobe Brown to the Pacers. Clippers will get Bennett Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, two first round picks and one second round pick. So yeah, that's pretty big right there, actually, for the Pacers getting Zubac, a really good big man, in
Hmm.
my opinion, upgrade from Miles Turner,
Hmm.
someone who is on the boards actually, someone who can really, really do well in the pick and roll. I think when Tyrese comes back, more than likely next year, I think when Tyrese comes back, he has a very, very solid pick and roll guy with him that and along with Pascal Siakam too.
Yeah.
That's actually really gonna be awesome in Indiana.
They stack up very well, against, OKC when, if they can make it back to, I don't think they'll make it, they're not going to make it back this year. I'm not talking about this year, but
The next couple of years, to
yeah,
say
next
the least.
couple years, if they can keep that squad together, that team is dangerous and can still be dangerous. And even more dangerous now with a big man like Zubac.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'm excited to see that. Some other trades, the Lakers trade gave Vincent and a 2032 second round pick to the Hawks for Luke Kennard. Lakers desperately need shooting. Luke Kennard is a sniper. He's a
Hmm.
so that is big for them.
I ain't seen Gabe Vincent make a shot since he been in the Lakers uniform, Cam. I'm gonna be honest.
He's had games. He's actually had some like pretty big games though.
Well, maybe I'm just oblivious and I'm blind. Yo.
My boy blind. Um so earlier, the Knicks actually made a trade, Yabo Sele for Dalen Terry. They ended up flipping Dalen Terry and two second round draft picks and cash for Jose Alvarado, which is
Pickup.
going to
What a
be
pickup. What a pickup.
awesome. Jose Alvarado comes back home to New York. For those who don't know, he played high school at Christ the King. So, and if you watched him, you already know he already comes with that energy. He has that New York energy. He has that dog in him. So, New York is going to rally right behind him, and this might be my favorite pickup actually.
Yo, like you want to talk
Okay.
about great, you want to talk about grind the New York way. He got it. And this made me really excited as well. Um, just helping out on that defensive end. He can guard it very well. Some pressure off of Jalen Brunson. To have to
Yes.
defend a lot.
Yes.
And he's just aggy. He's an annoying defender.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the Knicks need though as well. They needed that because
Yes.
he's just gonna bolster the other guys' defense as well. And he's gonna make the other guys play harder, especially when that crowd gets rocking, like they're gonna play harder, and he's gonna be the cause of that. So I'm very happy with this pickup.
Yeah, yeah, same here. Same here. Cavs trade Lonzo Ball and two second round picks to the Jazz, but the Jazz are expected to waive Lonzo Ball, so whoever needs a guard out there, Mr. Ball is open.
Hmm.
Clippers send Chris Paul to the Raptors, and yeah, and I think OG Abaji will be going to the Clippers if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
Yeah, for Chris Paul, he's not required to report to Toronto, so. We'll
He
see
ain't
what that's all
going.
about. We will see what that is all about. The 76ers trade Jared McCain to Oklahoma City for a 2026 Rockets first round pick and three second round picks. Oh, OKC.
Like, you want to talk about getting another dog? Jared McCain is that guy, when he's healthy. Um, um, that OKC locker room TikTok finna go crazy. Yo.
Yes.
Yo. But I mean, I don't understand how OKC can just keep getting these dudes. I think he fits in there very well. Um, And when he's healthy, I think he's up there with them guys. Like he really is as a young emerging player. Like he can do some things.
Yeah, he showed before he got injured last season that he belongs in the league in my
Yeah.
opinion. And I like this for him because Oklahoma City has such a how do I put it? They have an open offense where basically anybody can really get theirs.
Hmm.
You see guys like Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, like you see
Hmm.
guy, Jalen Williams, the big man. Like you see guys
Hmm.
out there, like when they get out there, they start to show out. It's like they're playing in it's almost as if they're playing in a big pickup game, more so than
Exactly.
playing in organized basketball, which is actually pretty cool because within it they play very organized.
And just think about, the progression on his career that he'll be able to get in the outlook, in insights, because Oklahoma City has a great just organization that
Yes.
seems to build players that can just, do things that, keeps putting them in a position to compete,
Yeah,
honestly. And so I'm happy for him to be in a position where he can compete as well too, and just learn how to win. I
yeah,
think that's going to be important, especially, for the future of this Oklahoma City team if he does stay there.
most def, most def. Yeah, those are most of the trades. Other trades happened, but we're not really gonna go too deep into those
Mhm.
as we are indeed coming up on the end of our podcast episode. But before we get up out of here, Matthew Stafford did indeed win MVP this year. So
Oh,
huge, huge, huge congratulations to him. More than deserves it.
mm,
He had a great season. Over 45 plus touchdowns, less than 10 interceptions this season. So had one of those spectacular seasons for a quarterback, especially for someone we didn't even know who was really if he was really going to play this season because he came into training camp with a back injury. So,
mhm.
but yeah, yeah,
Shout out
just
Matthew
happy for him.
Stafford. Well deserved, brother. Well deserved.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But till next week, I'm your host, Cam Silver.
I'm your co-host Kyle Silver.
Make sure you stay tuned for more. This is the Silver Boys.
Thank you. Thank you.